Got some Raw, got some AEW. Why are our numbers so low across the board online?
Yeah, so...
I mean, people watch stuff by RJ City. People aren't watching me.
Right, yeah, no, I looked into it. I had data. They ran diagnostics. It looks like it's a bot farm in India.
Bots.
Bots, yeah. That's
the reason things aren't going well for me, bots.
Yeah, so we're not getting any organic traffic. These are not real people.
Because of bots.
Yeah, and that algorithm, the word algorithm.
Right.
The algorithm is keeping us down. It has nothing to do with my role as producer.
Right. It's not me.
It's certainly not you.
It's bots.
It's the bots that I believe are in India.
Okay, well that's a relief. Woo, thank goodness.
I feel I was up all night, and then when I got word that it was the bots.
That frees you. Okay,
yes,
all right.
I'm free.
Bots.
Yes.
I mean, not to throw another idea into the conversation.
Oh, sure,
but,
yeah.
You know, could it be that you do suck? But that means we all suck, and we're gonna suck together, and somehow soon unsuck each other. And I can't wait.
We're gonna suck together. Like this is a page video.
My boss hit my line with an angry text saying something about B90X. I said wrestling. I'm going to wrestling. Then my phone blew up with a couple alarms. I got bets to make. I got worms to farm. I said wrestling. Yeah, R-A-S-S-L-I-N, that's wrestling. R-A-S-S-L-I-N, that's wrestling.
Hi, it's Rasslin. Barstool's professional wrestling podcast where we talk about everything going on in the world of professional wrestling. Hello, my name is Brandon Walker. Big things happen in wrestling these days. I understand we are less than 400 away from 30K.
Less than 400 because we were approaching 30,000 not too many weeks ago.
That's true. Yeah,
Right.
We've been trying to get to 30,000 for years. Do you think you're doing a good job as producer?
I do. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. All right. So smash that subscribe button, watch the shows, and watch everything we got going. Because little birdie told me soon there's going to be an AEW show in Long Island and might be getting 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 interviews with AEW talent. Yes, sir, because when you're not smart enough and funny enough to pop off on your own, ride the coattails of someone more popular. Huh? Yes.
Right.
All right. The Billy Gunn method. Y'all ready? Does everybody calm down? So please like and subscribe to the videos, and we need more people to watch. And yes, we've got some great interviews coming up down the road, both with WWE talents and AEW talents. I wasn't here last week. I was gone to Mississippi because I'm changing promotions, so might turn up down there. So. What's been going on in the world of... So we're just going to let the door open? All right, whoever it was a woman because I heard her stepping. Why do women have the loudest shoes?
Oh, you can hear him coming a mile away.
A mile away.
Oh, jeez.
God, women with their recipes and their shoes and their shopping. Speaking of women, Rhea Ripley turned on Liv. That tag team lasted a smooth 6 weeks. But Rhea Ripley is a heel. All the buys. I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. She needs to start going this way up the card. Just start going that way.
I think
this is the first step in the right direction. Rumors are that she's going to be joining the faction with Edge and Damian Priest very soon.
I love that.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Give it to me.
Why is it blue? Why is everything Edge does blue these days?
I don't think anything else has ever really been. I don't think blue has been associated.
Okay, so we've had red. That was Kane.
Yep.
We've had gold with Gold Dust.
There's been BW. The BWO is the last.
The
time.
blue meanie, but he doesn't count.
No,
Batista, of course.
right, but that's as like a joke. This is serious, Dan.
Why does he get to talk? Why is he talking?
Batista wanted it to be serious. The internet community dragged the guy, and he might have blocked me on Twitter.
Do you think? I think Batista was Drax in that movie.
I think that's right.
Wrestling.
Y'all big. So AEW. By the way, you didn't put any news here at all. There's no news here at all.
What do you mean?
Did you see the Adam Cole? Okay, all right. See the Adam Cole death match with Hangman Page, where on Good Friday they did the Jesus thing.
Yes.
They put the crown of
Crown of Thorns.
crown of thorns,
Yeah.
but it was crown of barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a professing Christian.
Same.
Didn't care at all, by the way. I was fine. I mean, whatever. I don't like when other people get offended at little things, so I'm not going to get offended at little things. That being said, they didn't know what they were doing. They knew they were doing something a little. It was Good Friday. Like they didn't do it accidentally.
He wrapped barbed wire on his head. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. You know who we need to talk to see if he's offended? Christian.
Who else better?
Who better than Christian? Reverend Devon, maybe? Okay, so AEW, let's just start there. Let's start what's working and what's not working for me. What's working to me, I don't know how much longer they can go as a promotion without acknowledging the obvious that MJF probably needs to be the number one guy. I think they've got a good off-ramp to the Hangman Adam Page title reign, which has been fine, and he's had great matches, but they can put that thing on CM Punk real quick. They can put it on CM Punk at the next pay-per-view, and then CM Punk be the guy that eventually loses the title to MJF. Would be a wonderful resolution of that story. The best feud in AEW history was MJF against CM Punk. They could put that on hold right now as he entertains Wardlow, which every week the Wardlow MJF stuff is some of the most entertaining stuff in wrestling television. It continues to deliver, and every time MJF is on camera, he's the best thing in the promotion. So I think by the end of the year he is champion, but I do think CM Punk's going to be the one to end the Hangman Page reign. Do you think that's crazy? You made a face.
No, I would say 100%, but it's because of MJF.
Right.
Like that's the reason why.
It's a better bridge. To get the end goal is to get the belt on MJF. And the story with Punk being the guy to do it is probably better than Hangman Page doing it.
Wrestling.
Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti, two attractive young people, probably have wonderful relations together. That's weird.
Is it?
No, I don't.
Not a problem for you?
Created an excellent visual in my own studio that runs in my head. That's great. I'll keep that one for later. I like Brazilian women. Oh no, not a
No, just it's not a big deal. I just want to talk to you. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying not to talk, but then
You're doing a shitty job. You're doing a really shitty.
You look at me, and I think that that's a cue, and I see those cues, and then I execute.
AEW Battle of the Belts, is that working?
I think it could be bigger.
Yeah, they're putting it on a Saturday. Sammy's been like in both of them. But the last time, remember, they had the COVID because Cody was still there for the first Battle of the Belts. And then this one, I tell you what, Thunder Rosa's reign, not off to a great start to me because this thing where they just, where Nyla Rose just shows up when somebody wins a belt and is automatically the first challenger and you know she's not going to win. Like, there's nothing interesting. There's nothing intriguing about that. I think they could have done a better job with the first challenger for Thunder Rosa coming off beating Britt Baker. Speaking of, Britt Baker just disappeared. Where's Britt Baker?
I don't know, but they need some other.
They need some star power there. They need some star power. I mean, Jade Cargill's going to be a huge, gigantic star, but they're taking their time with her. I don't think... You know where they went wrong with the AEW Women's Division? The night they were in Pittsburgh for a Rampage last year, and it was shortly... maybe it not have been Rampage, it might have been Dynamite. It was shortly after Britt Baker won the title, and she was in Pittsburgh, and the fans wanted to turn her babyface. Should have turned her then. Should have turned her then. She ended up winning with cheating with Jamie Hayter, and then it was just more of the same. If they had turned Britt then, I think the women's division would have been better off.
Wrestling.
Tony Khan has a big announcement this week on Dynamite. How many big announcements can one human being have?
It's huge. I can't wait.
I love Tony Khan. I love AEW, but son of a bitch. How many big announcements we got?
Well, you're going to come and find out.
What's he going to announce? You think it's the NJPW AEW crossover?
Yep.
I feel like that could be done in a tweet. I feel like that could be done in an email.
I think we're getting Tony in the middle of the ring with the mic
Right?
right before the show starts.
Well, who's going to show up from Japan? Okada?
No.
Well, what's the point? He's the best one, right? So if we're going to cross over, let's cross over. I mean, if we're going to cross over like 1985 WWF, we're not going to do it with the Killer Bees. We're going to do it with Hogan. Killer Bees were one of my favorite tag teams as a kid, yeah.
I had the LJNs.
Yeah, B. Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. And then they did the mask gimmick, which never worked. They were two different body types. And then Demolition did the mask gimmick later. They'd put the mask on in the middle of the match and they'd go, oh, who's this one? Well, he's the guy that's 4 inches taller than the other one.
Right.
You know what storyline in wrestling I love the most right now? I'm actually actively giving you both visual cues to talk, and you're just standing there.
Kevin Owens.
No. I love this new guy, the younger brother of Elias. Now, I don't know where Elias is, but this guy has got something. I like him. Now, doesn't have the facial hair of his brother, doesn't wear the shirts of his brother. Looks similar, like right in here, but I think he's got something.
Interesting ring gear, too. Like that color, the salmon.
He also has a belt and a zipper on his dick.
Right.
A zipper on his dick. Why do you need a zipper? Is he going to take his dick out at some point?
Maybe that's the gimmick.
Wrestling.
You know why I didn't become a wrestler?
No zippers on the tights.
Well, a zipper would have helped. I was terrified people would see my penis. Remember Mr. Perfect's dick? It was just always out there. You could just see it.
Very good ball.
Strategic.
Yeah, but I don't want...
I'm on that diving board, that perfect shot.
The perfect bulge.
Great penis. Well, I would argue the perfect penis.
Say it.
Raw had a ton of sports entertainment. Cody Rhodes works in WWE. Cody Rhodes works. Cody Rhodes works. Like this idea that he's going after the belt that his dad can never win. I mean, it's perfect. I assume he might even involve because brother never wanted it either. Like his whole family has been in and out of WWE for years and years and years, and now he's back in. And we saw his history in AEW, and now that he's there, he's feeding off that history. He's feeding off everything he's built, and the story works. The placement works. Everything about Cody Rhodes in WWE is a shot in the arm for the company, and has worked perfectly. And to this point, like if you asked me when the rumor was he was going to WWE, I was like, well, what's he going to do? Because he can't. I mean, Roman's got the belt. What's he going to? I think he might be the one to take the belt off Roman.
He's like the perfect baby face.
The perfect baby face. Like he has a reason. He has a story. He has a history. He has everything that is the antithesis of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got to WWE and was thrown up the mountain and hasn't come down. Cody Rhodes fought and fought and fought and fought. Had to go somewhere else, build his own mountain. Now he's back, standing on top of the mountain again. It works. Like this could be the main event of SummerSlam. He could win the title. Like that's.
Now, here's a question for you.
Sure.
So you said SummerSlam.
Right.
Do you think they're gonna do a long play with this though? Like, do you think they just shotgun?
But I think if they want to get to Roman Rock at Mania, you could A, do that without the belt. B, you're not saving Cody and Roman for anything. Like if Mania's spoken for, SummerSlam's the next best thing. So that would be Cody Roman there. You're not going to main event Survivor Series. You're not going to main event the Royal Rumble because it doesn't need it. So I think there you go. Also, don't backtalk me.
Well, you made a great point though. Like
No, don't do that. Don't tell me how smart I am. Don't compliment me. Don't ingratiate yourself. Don't be nice to me.
I won't.
What about you?
Trying to dial down the chat. Too much chirping on this side of the camera. I thought maybe the show would go better with me talking less because before I think I was interrupting.
Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti.
The Brazilians. Brazilian.
Right. He's not Brazilian.
No.
He's the Spanish god. She's Brazilian. You really love Brazilian women, huh?
I guess it's come up now twice, so I guess.
Well, you brought it up both times.
Was it me?
I brought up Tay Conti. You brought up the fact that she's Brazilian.
Huh.
That's wrestling.
Before we get to anything else, we're going to do the list in a minute, and we're going to do Ask Rasslin because you idiots had questions too. God knows I don't want to hear them, but the
It's back.
before we get to the list and Ask Rasslin,
Ask.
what?
Ask wrestling. Sometimes you don't say the K hard enough and it comes across funny. Ask wrestling. No, I'm ask wrestling.
What the fuck's this guy's problem?
He's a fucking ass.
What the fuck is this guy's problem?
You want me to talk less? You want me to talk more? We come.
All right. So AEW coming up will be on Long Island.
Yes, on the 11th.
Anybody you want us to interview, because I believe I can get anybody. If there's anybody out there that you haven't heard from, you think would fit us, hit up Rasslin, at Rasslin on Twitter, DM him, tell him, and then we'll get that person. I think I want to talk to Sammy and Ty, find out what those two motherfuckers are doing, because people hate them all of a sudden. Wrestling fans are weird. Where I saw wrestling fans this weekend, they're like, oh, we hate them, they don't need it, yada, yada, yada. Well, they just turned heel, and they're going to be the most hated act in the company for a while. And it's going to be very successful because Sammy is very talented and Tay is one of the hottest women ever. And to see her with a douchebag is going to drive fat virgins crazy, like us. So it's going to work. It's going to be awesome. The Jericho Appreciation Society, by the way, also working for me because Jericho is just badass. Now, I thought that Eddie Kingston, I feel like that feud is lacking a little juice. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. They'll get it. I don't know what it is about that. Anyway, we're going to transition into some other stuff right now. We're going to talk about our list, our top 5 things, and then we'll talk about, we'll do Ask Wrestling. Before we do that, tickets. If you want to go to the Long Island show, if you want to go to SummerSlam, if you want to go to all these major wrestling events, sometimes you can't get tickets right when they go on sale. Life happens, life gets in the way, you don't know how to get them. But last second tickets, somebody cracked the code. Created by fans and for fans, Game Time is a new ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute tickets, last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. They cracked the code on how to score deals with last-minute tickets. It's possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. Again, AEW coming up, SummerSlam coming up. If you can't get them immediately and you're at the a day before the show, check out Game Time. They're going to have great rates on great seats. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds. Once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone, no printer needed. And the app allows you to easily share tickets via friend with text, or you can get in the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle, enjoy the moment. The exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, Game Time. We just made the list, our top 5 of whatever. Sometimes it's WrestleMania matches, sometimes it's Vince McMahon walks, sometimes it's testicles. Who knows what it's going to be. Today, it is the top 5 wrestling video games of all time. Video games, you two nerds like that, right? Uh-huh. Y'all don't get pussy? Nope. All right, so top 5 video games of all time. Make it cool graphic. I want it to go 5.
Whoa.
Is that too much?
No, not at all.
Okay. 5. All right. Number 5, Super Nintendo, the first great wrestling game. And I know pro wrestling on NES, everybody likes that. It's not great. And WrestleMania on NES, terrible. But Super Nintendo had a game called the Royal Rumble, and it was the first time it felt like actual wrestling. It was the first time it felt like at home you actually had WWF wrestlers. You actually could experience it. It had a roster. Ric Flair was on there. Tatanka was on there. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Hulk Hogan was in the Genesis version, but I like the Super Nintendo version better. Royal Rumble for the Super Nintendo, number 5. Number 4. All right, for the 4, I want 4. Okay? All right. 4, WrestleFest in the arcade. I personally had one at my local Walmart in West Point, Mississippi. When I was 12 years old, I would go there and I'd pump quarters in there, and they'd walk down the ring, and it'd be Legion of Doom or Ted DiBiase. Yes, love it. That's what I had. WrestleFest at my Walmart. Bigger kids would take my money, and I'd watch them play, and it was awesome. And they've done it again today. It doesn't have the same magic it had for me when I was a kid, but WrestleFest. Now, number 3. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. This was PS2. PS2, by the way, the greatest gaming system ever created, period. Better than the Switch, better than N64, better than PlayStation 1. PS2, the greatest gaming system ever created, and the best wrestling game they had. Brock Lesnar on the cover, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. It was just debauchery and ridiculousness and the height of the Ruthless Aggression era all in one disc. It was fantastic. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Number 2, WCW NWO Revenge. Every kid in America had some form of a WCW game on N64. There was World Tour, it came out in 97, but 98 had the bigger roster, had Ravens Flock, had LWO, it had just a ridiculous amount. It felt like it had 600 wrestlers. And it had a Battle Royal mode that everything about WCW NWO Revenge was almost perfect, which makes it number 2. But everything that makes it number 2 makes number 1, WWF No Mercy. Same engine, right? Same company, switched over to WWF, took their better roster, their better wrestlers, their better product, their better production values, and made the greatest wrestling game ever. WWF No Mercy, the best roster ever put on a video game, the most fun wrestling ever put on a video game. It'll never get better than those blocky ass characters on WWF No Mercy. That's your number one greatest wrestling video game of all time. Before we get to your questions, which I'm sure will be god-awful, before we get to that, I'm going to talk to you about something that's not god-awful. I like to eat. See these tits? Of course you do. I love to eat, but you can't always go out because it's a hassle. You can't always go to the grocery store, another hassle. Inflation is going crazy, and going out to eat is absolutely terrible these days, but I'm all about convenience. I'm all about deliciousness. I'm all about helping you get good food at home. HelloFresh, the number one meal service kit in this country. The ingredients come pre-portioned, so you're not overbuying or wasting food. They're sending you a box. In that box, pre-organized food, recipe cards. You follow the card in 30 minutes or less, you have a delicious meal. It's going to be great. Pick your favorites from 50 different weekly options and skip weeks when you need to. Change your delivery date or update preferences in the HelloFresh app. HelloFresh offers seasonal recipes like salmon limon, and pasta primavera. Pasta primavera sounds wonderful. Customize your favorite dishes with their Hello Custom offerings by swapping out one protein or side for another, upgrading for a more luxurious experience, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. That means more choices, more variety, more meals truly tailored to you. They save you time, they save you money, they save you everything, and biggest deal, delicious ass food. Probably shouldn't cuss? Sorry, did. That's how good it is. Go to HelloFresh.com/Rasslin16, R-A-S-S-L-I-N, that's Rasslin, and use code Rasslin16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, 16 free meals, 3 free gifts. Go to HelloFresh.com/Rasslin16. All right, it's your turn, but before we get to Ask Wrestling, I've got to say this. Our YouTube is full of stuff you might not be aware of. Because in recent months, we've added a lot of people watching, a lot of subscribers. We've ballooned over the last 3 months. But before that 3-month period, we had some incredible videos. Right now at Wrestling, I think we have 9 videos, over 100,000 views. Got Bryan Danielson, CM Punk. We have 2 interviews with MJF. One hit 400,000 views. The other one from last year didn't hit as many views, but was just as funny. We have interviews with Bret Hart, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair just a couple of weeks ago. Stone Cold Steve Austin, before I knew how to interview. Wasn't very funny. Don't watch that one. But the rest of them are good. Go back in the archives and enjoy. And when you do that, please like and subscribe. Ask Wrestling. So it's your turn. Ask Wrestling.
Perfect.
Are you talking about penis again?
No, ass.
I'm an ask man. Dun, dun. Yeah, I'm an ask man. I love to answer.
Kiss him.
Killed the whole vibe.
Can't believe that was
The whole vibe. The whole fucking vibe. You killed the whole fucking vibe. All right, Pat from Winnipeg, at PatGWPG. Who do you think has more potential and why? Wardlow or Hook? I don't think it is tough. I think Hook is a great young prospect. Good-looking guy, great family. Looks like somebody who can be a star wrestler for the next 20 years. But Wardlow, to me, comes around once a generation. Like, Wardlow is that dude. Wardlow's got an intensity about him. He's got a look about him. He's got everything. The Powerbomb Symphony. I think Hook's potential is way up there. It's like near the ceiling of a wrestler's potential. I think Wardlow's potential is past the roof. I just think he's a unique guy that doesn't come around all that often. And pairing him with MJF and now launching his career by going against MJF is perfect. I can't say AEW gets everything right, but I think they've got that one pitch perfect all the way through. Mr. O Hydro says, what was the first match / show / pay-per-view you've seen? Not great grammar, but you're a fan, so thank you. It's hard to say. I would imagine the first match I ever saw was on All American Wrestling, the 11 o'clock show on USA Network that came on USA back when I was a kid. I was 7 years old. I remember watching every Sunday morning at 11, I would watch WWF Wrestling. But most likely, the first match I ever saw wasn't WWF because Memphis Wrestling was on back then. Jerry Lawler, I probably saw that in passing. Probably saw Continental Wrestling in our local Columbus, Mississippi station. So I can't remember exactly the first match. Now, I can tell you the first pay-per-view I ever saw was WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 is the first pay-per-view I ever saw. And that's a hell of a pay-per-view to start with because probably still to this day the biggest one ever. Yeah, so All-American Wrestling, and as far as match, I can't remember like matches. I can't remember the guys. All right, Matt H. Down once Matt. That sounds like he eats pussy. Matt H. says, have an opportunity to go to my first ever WWE Raw live show in June. Any tips or recommendations to get the most enjoyment out of it? This is going to sound very... I don't know how this is going to sound. Splurge. Splurge on yourself. Like, if you're going to go, and there's a difference of $20 in this ticket or this ticket, get this ticket. If there's a difference of $50 between this ticket and this ticket, get this ticket. Like, get as close as you can reasonably, because that does make a big difference. In fact, Matt H., you know what? I'm taking care of Matt H. I'm making sure Matt H. has good seats. So whenever he gets to go, I'm making sure he has good seats in June. So we're going to take care of you. You're going to get good seats. Any tips or recommendations? Throw all your embarrassment or your inhibitions out the window. Be the guy that yells at the heels. Be the guy that cheers the baby faces. Be the guy that buys your kids T-shirts. Be that guy because you're at a wrestling show. Throw away your responsibilities. Throw away the real world. Have fucking fun. This shit's fun. Period. That's why I love it. That's why you love it. That is Ask Wrestling, and that is wrestling.